items to be placed on the regular city commission agenda. We don't have any. That was easy. Items for presentation and discussion. Item A is a recommendation by the Neighborhood Revitalization Program Review Committee to add 22 residential and 2 commercial properties to the program. Director of Neighborhood Services, Denise, come on up.
Honorable Mayor and Commission,
Good afternoon.
thanks for having me. I'm giving a presentation in Ashley's place. She can't be here today, unfortunately. So I'm sorry. We'll start with that. Ashley would have done a nice job with this, but you've got me. Do we have that PowerPoint? Yeah. And I imagine you all are familiar with this program. We've got in this batch, 24 applications, 22 residential and 2 commercial. The purpose of the neighborhood revitalization program is to promote community improvement, development, and rehabilitation to enhance the safety, public health, and welfare of Ottawa's residents. I'd like to highlight that the total expected residential rebate over 10 years for these 22 residential projects is $104,685.85. And the total expected commercial rebate over 10 years would be $29,907.15. Highlight that there's a 3-person committee. There's a representative from the city, Commissioner Kaler. There's a representative from the school board, Harold Winger, and then a Drake County Commissioner, Rod Harris. I've got the addresses listed there in the paperwork. We're gonna go through pretty quickly all of them. So Jimmy slides show, so I won't hit that. It also do have highlighted. Oops, I'm not actually moving that. I apologize. If we go to the next slide, just shows how that commercial rebate is done. So it's a 10-year rebate on the on new construction, 5-year on remodels, and then for commercial, you get 100% for your first 5 years, and then it drops off year by year after that, at up to 10 years.
Director Denise, can you tell us how you came up with the maximum rebate available, these numbers? I think they're low, significantly low. And the rebate goes to the taxpayers, so let's start off with that.
Yeah.
But the reason I say that is just, I know, I did the construction on 716 Pecan, which was an empty lot, which taxes were about $400 or $500 a year. That property is now $180,000 property. It's probably going to be probably $4,000 a year. So the difference is $3,500 a year. So 95% of that's going to be roughly 3,200 times 10 is $32,000, not 6. So that's why. And don't get me wrong, this is a great rebate for the taxpayer, but I think these numbers are skewed low. We can review them. I mean, later on. I guess I'm pointing out the fact that the people, whether they're for sale and the purchaser of that property is actually going to get a more significant rebate than what we're showing here.
If our numbers aren't correct, we'll need to review that and come back. I'm not able to do that on the fly.
Yeah, I do know that those numbers are derived from the estimated cost of improvements that are included in part 2 of the application, which that is an estimated market value amount. And then from there, we take 25% of that, which we get the assessed amount for taxation, and then that's where you apply the metric of the mill levy and the multiple or division, however you're using your decimal there, to determine the cost impact. And then obviously that would be a linear extrapolation beyond that. So
another piece, Mayor, and I don't want to. It's very, very possible we have a mistake here.
Right.
Another piece would be that that we are looking at the city's piece of the rebate rather than
Could
the
be.
overall rebate.
And that's what we did use, it's to the
So it'd
city.
be a third. So that makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because on 7/16, showing 33.96 with the city's annual rebate is 879 for 87. So that would make sense if it's just the city's portion of the property.
And
tax.
that first slide was not clear to that, but yeah, I'm really drilled in on the city, the impact of the city.
Appreciate that.
So with a caveat that there are, that there may very well be an error here. At 714 South Funston, we have a currently undeveloped lot that would have a new home put on it, and our estimation of the city's share of that rebate would be $8,796. 716 South Funston is a identical project. So previously undeveloped lot, and the 10-year rebate from the city would be $8,796. 718 South Funston, identical project, previously undeveloped lot, $8,796,000. 735 South Funston is a previously undeveloped lot, and we have the 10-year rebate at $11,008.
I guess,
Sorry.
quick somewhere on here, we probably ought to specify this is just the city portion, as the mayor was bringing up, in case this is looked over years from now, the number didn't like figure now, I'm pretty sure that's what it has to be, that figure. But yeah, and somewhere along the line too, it sounds like we're giving up a lot of money, yeah, we are, but the long term on this is, and there's no way to figure what the taxes will be on these properties 5 and 10 years from now, but there's gonna be a significant return on the investment by the city for all these properties eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that city staff is having and you know, the recommendation is for this batch to move forward. Figuring out how to have a conversation about that for.
Yeah.
That this would not have happened, but for the rebate is something that I think is an ongoing conversation.
Thanks.
739 South Cherry, there was this was a previously developed lot, and there was a single wide manufactured home that was removed in 2023, so this year. And a 10-year rebate from the city of $7,540. 741 South Cherry was split off of 739 South Cherry. 10-year rebate of $7,540. 947 South Locust, a home was demolished in 2009. And would have a 10-year rebate of $7,791. 830 South Elm, there was a home demolished in 2019. 10-year rebate of $5,026. Part of what city staff is looking at when we look at that demolished date is wanting to make sure that we understand what the impact of the program is on removing either housing that needs to be removed or evaluating that. 413 East Second Street, home was demolished in 2022 with a 10-year rebate of $5,026. And then out 1000 South Walnut was demolished in 2018, 10-year rebate of $7,791. And we come to the remodels. 311 South Sycamore is a home that was built in 1925. The 5-year rebate would be $1,633. You know, when you see all of these that are coming to you for recommendation, for example, have their taxes are current. That's a requirement of the program. It is called out on each of these slides, and it's called out in your packets. 834 South Burroughs was built in 1920, 5-year rebate of $5,182. 1230 South Willow, built in 1920, 5-year rebate of $402. 507 South Beach, built in 1910, 5-year rebate of $1,759. 1004 East 7th, built in 1940, 5-year rebate of $2,387. And then 710 East 10th Street, built in 1981, which somebody born in 1980 feels a little bit young, but even, you know, a home in 1981, you're coming to the end of the life for a lot of systems. So 5-year rebate of $2,387. 916 South Main, built in 1920, 5-year rebate of $502. 920 South Main, built in 1920, 5-year rebate of $1,633. Oops. 215 East Red Jacket Street, built in 1930, 5-year rebate of $1,508. 836 East 7th Street, built in 1900, 5-year rebate of $1,256. 410 South Cherry, built in 1900, 5-year rebate of $1,885. And then we do have 2 commercial properties. 113 South Main Street, this is a project that is also doing some historic tax credits, and it's a project that you may be aware of. It's exciting. Total 10-year rebate within this program from the city of $22,430. And then 932 North Locust, which is it's a green, an unbuilt site at this point, would be a 10-year rebate of $7,476. And that's the short presentation. Happy to answer any questions. Ashley would have much more information than I have. I think Melanie maybe has more background than I would have, but I'm happy to answer questions or rope other staff into it. And appreciate your time.
I noticed one of the applications was clear back in March, and I realized we've been without a director, full-time director from about that time. And so did this delay any construction at all, or they will proceed with construction regardless of these applications, you know?
That's a good question. Melanie, you know,
Yeah. So when they turn in their building permit, they turn in the NRP application, so it doesn't stop anything.
Good.
They are just applying for the program at the same time they apply for the building permit, and then we package it all together and the committee comes together and reviews those applications. This is a big batch, and it definitely took more time than we would normally want that to take. The goal would be, though, for all of these, anything that was received this year, to be certified to the county clerk before April, so that they know what would be rebated back after they have the new valuation, and then once those taxes are paid. So it's not holding up construction, and there's still another step in the process. They actually have to meet a certain minimum improvement value. So really the end of the process is the new valuation at the top of the year anyway. There is another smaller batch, I believe, that's been received, but maybe not yet reviewed by the committee to come to you, but certainly wanted to get this batch in front of you. So they have been hanging on for a little while. And once that makes it through this process, it will also be going to the school board and the county commission for their approval as well. And then a letter will go out to the property owner and letting them know that they've been basically placed into the program and what the next steps are.
And I think on that too, I know some of the ones at Funston are sold and occupied. And with Locust, that shop's already up. So a lot of these
These are all,
in the process are getting closer to being done too, kind of in this.
okay, good, good, thanks.
and that's a smaller batch that Director Landis mentioned. Assuming that the committee can be brought together before the end of the year. The plan is to get it to the committee before the end of the year and then to have it in front of you all in January.
Yeah, I noticed on the Funston Street on that map with the green map. And both sides of Funston are included in this, so it looks like just the west side is, I don't know if this map is accurate or not. Cause we've got houses on both sides of Funston, and I'm just looking at the map and just, the line comes right down the middle of the street.
East side would be Markley's addition, and I believe we had a discussion
We
about
added that, I
adding
think
his
when we
in,
expanded boundaries.
so I don't know if that's updated or not.
Okay, well, it would be an odd number, right? On the east side,
Of houses,
yeah,
I think he did 6 or 8.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
odd number, I mean, odd.
Address.
Addresses, yes,
And so we got some like, I thought we had a 735 Funston, for instance.
yes.
Would that be on the east side of Funston? And I didn't know if that was in the neighborhood revitalization map.
Okay,
We can make sure that the website reflects the most current.
Okay.
Again, with everyone being new.
Yeah.
We went with what's out there, so we'll cross-reference that.
Yeah, I always like seeing these things. I feel like, yeah, we're improving the neighborhood. Giving people a little bit of a tax break, and then eventually that will come back to us in a great way. So, yeah, kudos, I think it's a great program.
Is there a way to get these, I guess, to us sooner? The committee approved these on August 4th, and we're just now seeing them months later. I know it goes to, or Director Landis, you mentioned it still has to go to the school board or in the county, or has it already been to them?
I believe that it's probably going simultaneously. I don't know what those dates are. I haven't talked to Ashley about that, but I know that we send out a memo to them that has the same information, with the same properties that their representative on the committee has seen, and then they'll take it to their board, but I don't know what those dates are.
And we can look to convene quarterly with whatever applications we have come in. That would work as well.
The reason I asked the question is some of these are new construction homes that contractors are building, and they're using this kind of as a selling point. NRP as a selling point. And quite frankly, they're building the houses and getting them done quicker than we're approving them, which we've never, that I know of, we've never not approved one, but it makes a buyer kind of hesitant to say, oh yeah, I'm interested in it, as long as the governing body approves it, because they don't know that we haven't, and they can sit there and have those conversations with them about, it's been approved, we've never not. But it just really makes them apprehensive. So if there was a way to expedite them to the governing bodies to make those decisions, I guess I just don't know what the holdup is on them.
I think this was just a matter of staff time.
Okay, okay.
That's.
So we should start seeing them a little quicker then.
I would anticipate that, yes.
Great. That's great news.
And again, I don't think all three taxing entities have to meet at the same time in the same room. I know in the past I've been on this, and I think Sarah has been too, but you can just come in, look them over. They look good and sign off, and everybody come in on their own time whenever that works. Sarah, you got any more input?
Sarah, we can't hear you.
Okay, I agree with you, Commissioner Skidmore. We don't have to all be in the same room. It works really well if we are. And I think we may be making a mountain out of a molehill, because in the time I've been on NRP, we've never had a delay. And I think we have to have a little bit of grace towards our staff that is new. And so, yeah, I think we're making a little bit more out of it than it's really is. And I think we need to remind the public and remind ourselves here on the governing body is this is a rebate. You have to pay your taxes. You don't get it just free. You have to pay them. So you have to pay them, period. So, but yes, I mean, the whole committee went through this, and we actually went through every single, Melanie led the discussion along with a staff member, and we went through every single property. And I would anticipate, I hesitate for us to have another meeting, just have another meeting. That's doesn't seem to be fruitful always, but.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for either Director Neese or Director Landis or anybody else that Director Neese wants to throw under the bus?
I do think on this for Ashley, I just want to give props that I think this is the most information I've seen in my time on the commission for each property, really listing out the increase in value, the annual rebate, those totals. And some of that. So I think that kind of lends to some of the confusion. Typically, we just kind of, I think, see a lump sum across all three taxing entities. Here's what you get. But so this is more information than we're used to, which is great. So I think definitely props to her that this kind of summary is a great highlight of kind of everything going on those.
I noticed that as well. I appreciated it, seeing that max, I think it was the maximum rebate amount, but I thought that was great information to have.
Certainly a great program. To see the residential remodel addresses, 11 of them, and seeing that a lot of those were residences, not contractors, doing flipping or remodeling. So it's doing what its namesake says, neighborhood revitalization. So it's a great program.
I'm seeing a lot of new names I haven't seen before too. That's good. Very impressive. I'm fine with moving it on.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
Commissioners, you okay with moving us on to the next regular agenda? I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you, Director
Thank
Neese.
you.
All right, comments by city manager.
Keep it short and brief, and that's that we ask everyone to have a safe and happy Thanksgiving holiday and to have a patient and pleasant start to the shopping season as we roll into the 2023 year end.
Thank you. Comments by the governing body, Commissioner Graves,
I have no comment.
Commissioner Kaler,
None at this time.
Commissioner Clayton.
I'll just reiterate that about Thanksgiving and remind everyone, I know you're going to in a second as well. But next Saturday, or this Saturday, I guess it is the mayor's Christmas tree lighting and Christmas parade. And there's still time to sneak in if you want to get a float in. The weather's supposed to be nice, so fingers crossed it stays nice. Last year was kind of like today. We had a great turnout, so come downtown and check that out this weekend.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore.
Well, just congratulations to my Kansas State Wildcats. I saw a sign somewhere that KU fans sing Christmas carols before Thanksgiving. I thought that was a pretty good slam, but maybe not. Anyway, it was a good game and we had a good time with it. But anyway, we'll see where it goes from here. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I have a few announcements. The 23rd and the 24th, this Thursday and Friday, city offices will be closed for the Thanksgiving holiday. The 25th, as Commissioner Clayton mentioned, is this Saturday, is the mayor's Christmas tree lighting and Christmas parade at 4:30 at 2nd and Main. And then our next study session is November 27th. Commissioners, I move that the commission recess into executive session at 4:25 for a period of 20 minutes for this, with the city. Oh, okay. For a period of 10 minutes. Thank you. With the city attorney, city manager, director of human resources, and director of finance present for the purpose of attorney-client consultation. The justification for the closed session is to engage in confidential and privileged communication with the board's attorney. The open meeting will resume in this room at 4:35. No action will be taken.
No, we anticipate.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Action will be taken.
No.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Thank you.